I'm a big fat liar. Alright everyone, welcome back to the Drawing Journal. I have this piece here that you can see, and I'm going to color it. This I did for the How to Draw Anime tutorial that I did somewhere around 6 months ago, and I never got around to coloring it, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. If you have any recommendations on how I should color this, be sure to leave them in the comments, because for today I am going to do the skin, and we'll see how far I get to the hair. Anyways, I'm going to start coloring, but I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody. Because last week's video was, I guess, a bit more depressing than I intended it to be, but everybody was so kind and left me great comments and encouraging comments on the video, and it was really nice. For all those interested, I do feel better, so thank you. You are most to thank for that reason. But anyways, getting into the kind of topic thingy that I started off by saying that I'm lying, I'm just going to address that right away. So I was chatting with my sister this past week, which was very nice, and she was talking about, you know, things I could do for the drawing journal and make it better, which is always seems to be more than I'm willing to do, because the drawing journal, as I explained in other drawing journals, is that I don't plan the stuff. I turn the camera on and I talk to it, and I don't plan any of it. I just do whatever I want. And during the week, you know, I try to think of things to talk about, especially if nobody asks me questions or whatnot. Because if people ask me questions, then, you know, I'll screenshot them and I'll try to answer them. But for the most part, I just do whatever and talk about whatever. And so she brought up the topic of how I learned to do the things that I do, because I'm a self-taught artist. I mean, I took some art classes in my lifetime, you know, art class in high school and, you know, growing up and all that stuff. But at no point in any of those classes did I ever consider myself an artist. I mean, when I introduce myself and people ask me what I do, I introduce myself as an artist. Whereas back then, I never did that, you know. So she asked me to talk about how I learned what I learned, and the thing that I told her was that I'm a liar. You have all these. I showed her all my tutorials, like I have each month. So I'm finishing up the 4th month in a row of doing these tutorials back here that you can go through and see all the tutorials that I did. The first one I started with was the clouds, and then the bubble and the blurry background, the wood texture and all that stuff. And I was like, most of these tutorials, I don't know, I guess I have no qualification whatsoever to teach anybody how to do this stuff, because I've never tried to color clouds before. The tutorial that I made teaching you how to color clouds was the first time I ever colored clouds. When I do these weekly tutorials that you see on my channel, almost every single week has been something I've never drawn before. I think the only thing that I've drawn before is I've done a bird, I've done oranges, the space scene. I've done space scenes before. I've in a cat eye. That's it. Those are the only. I mean, I've done blurry backgrounds before, but not like that. And yeah, so that's the truth. The truth is that I am doing these weekly tutorials, and I've never drawn most of them. In fact, next week's tutorial is going to be doing like a snowy winter landscape, like how to draw a snowy winter landscape. I've never drawn a snowy winter landscape. I make all this stuff up, like each week. I just make it up. And so I thought it was a good topic to bring up because the way that I approach my tutorials is the same exact way as I approach something I've never done before, because I've never done most of the tutorials. And I would say I have to apologize because I've probably learned 10 times as much about drawing and coloring and everything than what I've been able to teach through my tutorials, because it's the first time that I've colored or drawn any of this stuff, and honestly, it's probably taught me much more than it's taught anybody that's watched my tutorials. And I hope that one day I can adequately explain how I do it. I have a plan. I have a tutorial planned. It'd probably be, I'm guessing, 2 weeks maybe. That I'll have this tutorial up, but it's going to be a landscape tutorial, colored pencil landscape tutorial. I forget who mentioned it. It was a comment that I should do a tutorial on doing landscapes, and I've never really done landscapes, but for some reason I feel confident enough that I can do it. And it's not going to be a winter landscape. It's going to be kind of a fall landscape, which is I'm a little late for. But I think that what I cover will be enough to kind of give people a general idea as to how to do or how to approach landscapes. Because that's what I try to do in my tutorials. I try to break things down in a way that makes it digestible to anybody. Regardless of your drawing, coloring skill level, I try to break it down in a way that makes it fun and simple. And yes, so I don't know where to go from there. I guess, let's see. I've only been, coloring for like 8 minutes or whatnot, so I'll probably get to the hair today. Oh, which brings me to the next topic. Yes, so one of the things that I will be, another tutorial that you'll hopefully be looking forward to is hair. So I've done a few basic tutorials on drawing hair, so I'm not going to cover drawing hair because drawing hair, it's too much to try to explain in a tutorial, because there's infinitely many ways to style hair. And so, you learn how to draw a ponytail, and then you add the ponytail in whatever spots, or you know what I mean, curly, straight. There's too many ways to draw hair to really do a tutorial to cover all the ways to draw hair, because you find a style that you like, and then you just draw it. But coloring hair is a different monster. And so I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the coloring process of hair, how to do it like the most simple, the simplest way possible, or the simplest way that I have been able to create, because I've been kind of playing around with how to color hair, because that's one of the things I felt like I have yet to do good. I don't feel like any hair that I've really colored looks realistic, and so it's kind of been something that I avoid doing a lot. And so I was experimenting this weekend quite a bit on how to break down coloring of hair so that you can get it to look real, really fast, really simple. In fact, I did this. I'll have a time lapse for this piece soon, but I drew this on Saturday, and it did not take long. It did not take long to do this. And as you can see, I focused like 98% on just the hair. The other 1% was the eye and the rest of the picture. But I used 3 colors for the hair. And I will try to, I'll do the narration for the time lapse of this just to kind of give you an idea of how I did it. But it kind of surprised me when I did it. I did the hair in markers, which is partly why it didn't take very long at all. And then I used a little bit of colored pencil just to kind of make it a bit more dynamic and more interesting to look at, instead of just kind of two-toned colors. I wanted to do more than that. So I have a strategy now that I've developed to create hair really quite easily, and I will be sharing that soon. I'm going to find kind of like a general reference for, like a ponytail part of hair, just to break down the coloring process at which you can apply to, any style of hair. And I will most likely get to that tutorial in January. I know that might feel like a long ways away, but I have a lot of plans coming in the new year, so I'm kind of holding off until the end of this month with some of the larger projects and larger plans. But I have my next kind of big project planned tomorrow. The giraffe that, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, then you've probably seen some of the work in progress of the giraffe piece that I've been working on. And I have that finished, which is kind of nice because I've been wanting to have it finished for a long time. I've had the piece planned for what feels like half of a year, and it's nice to finally get it done and put away. So I have the time lapse for that. I originally thought that I was going to do kind of like break it up into 2 videos where I would have the time lapse, and then the following week I'd kind of show the making of it. Not sure if I'll still do that, but I might. If you're interested in how I kind of developed the idea for the giraffe, then let me know, and I'll consider making a short video of how I created it, and it will kind of be insight on how I plan my artwork in general, because I do it a lot in Photoshop, and if I made a video on it, you'd see just how much that is. Although you kind of get a good idea of how much I use Photoshop if you've seen the video I posted this Saturday on the photo manipulation piece that I did. I posted that this Saturday. So a lot of people really liked that video, which was kind of surprising because I don't post videos normally on Saturday unless they're just like, nah, I don't really care about this video, and I just upload it and to add one more video. And I had quite a few people say that they liked it enough that they want to see more videos like that. And so I don't know what I'll do for the next photo manipulation piece. That was kind of an accident. The reason I was recording that video was because I wanted to have a recording of how I create, or how I come up with some of my ideas for my larger projects, and that was a recording of the very beginning process of how I come up with my ideas and how I begin to develop my ideas for projects that I do. And the giraffe was a very similar process to what you see in that photo manipulation piece, and probably more so than what some people might imagine. I probably do a bit too much digitally before I start a piece, but one of the things that I really, 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 really hold strong to and say a lot in my tutorials is that planning is like the most important part of my work. I'm not much for a freestyle artist. I don't just sit down and draw things. If I'm drawing, you can pretty much guarantee that it was planned. And it's just the way that I work, I guess. I don't really think of it. I don't really think about it much anymore because it's just how I naturally am inclined to draw. Is I just plan it. I guess I have a hard time doing things just randomly, and I've been asked a few times to like in the middle of whatever, to just, hey, draw me something or whatnot, and that's probably the hardest thing in the world for me to do, because if you were to see me on the street and you ask me to draw something, most likely I'm going to ask you, okay, what should I draw? I don't know what to do. In which case, I'll probably start with a face or something like that, because that's kind of what I've been leaning to for the past decade or so. I mean, I never used to draw people, but now pretty much everything I do revolves around people as far as what I draw. I don't do too many animals, and I want to change that, which is why I was doing the elephant photo manipulation piece that I uploaded on Saturday. But yeah, it's been a productive week. I got sick a little bit last week because I think I overworked myself. I was just trying to do as much as I humanly possibly can, and sometimes I think I just push myself a bit too hard. I think I'm a bit hard on myself, which is probably partially a result of last week's drawing journal, but I try to take breaks. But I pretty much worked all weekend as well, and I drew that picture. I even edited the video, and I did quite a bit this weekend. I did a lot of planning. Did a lot of planning too. That's kind of what I do on the weekends. Is I plan, and then I have a big project that I've been kind of keeping a secret for quite some time, but you'll find out more of that in January. And yeah, that's been my weekend. Mostly work. I'm I do have, actually, in January I have a potential collaboration, which brings up another idea, or a thought, I guess. So I have this collaboration idea that I did with Hit Art, a month ago or so, and it was the Coffee with Friends collaboration, where we split the piece in half and kind of do a coffee shop scene, and like we're having coffee with each other, and we do each of our side without sharing what we're doing or what it looks like. And so I'm going to be doing that. Hopefully, I'm going to be doing that with another YouTube artist, a fairly large YouTube artist, which I'm excited about because I always appreciate the YouTube artists that are significantly larger than my channel willing to do collaborations and things, because cross promotion like that is very beneficial to my channel. So I have a small request for all of you, and that is, I'm sure if you're watching my channel, you most likely watch other art channels. I mean, if you get your fill of art just from my channel, then that's great. I'm grateful, but I doubt that. And so if you have a favorite YouTube artist, other than myself, obviously, then I would ask you to either, comment on one of their videos, or message them on Twitter or whatnot, tweet at them, and tell them they should do a collaboration with me. I'm open to collaborating with pretty much anybody on YouTube, any artist on YouTube, and the size of their channel is not the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me is that they regularly upload videos. If they upload at least a video a week, then I'm willing to do a collaboration with them. I'm not, super picky or anything like that. But I don't want to do, I don't want to do a collaboration with an artist that just randomly uploads YouTube videos. That wouldn't be very beneficial to them or to myself. So yes, so if you have a favorite YouTube artist, and I think I'm going to leave you with that, try to get their attention and try to put the idea in their head to do a collaboration with me, and I will do my best to make that collaboration happen. Anyways, unfortunately, I only finished the skin. I even had my markers planned for the hair, but I think I'll save this for next week. I'll try not to color it as much as I'm having fun coloring this. I think I'll just wait. Or maybe, you know what? I don't really have much to do this week because, like I said, I kind of burnt myself out last week, overworking myself, but I was extremely productive regardless of that. And I actually have all of my videos for this week already uploaded and scheduled. And what was it? Oh, this week, there won't be a chibi this week. And you'll find out Thursday why there's not a chibi. There's still a video on Thursday, but it's a special video. And so look forward to that for sure. I think I am just gonna color the hair. I mean, my camera is still recording, so I'm just gonna keep drawing. So I chose kind of a reddish brown for the hair. So some of the, it would be like an introduction or whatever to coloring hair, the new thing that I kind of created. And what I start with is the middle range color. So I don't concern myself about the highlights. I color all the hair with the mid-tone color. And for the mid-tone color, you're going to want to use the color you want the hair to appear as. So in this case, I want the hair to kind of have a nice, rich, kind of chocolate red, brown color. And so that's the color that I chose here. It's kind of a nice reddish brown. And you're just going to color the entire head. Now, if you're not planning on using colored pencils, because I am going to use colored pencils instead of marker to do the highlights, then what you can do is you can color everything and then avoid the highlights. So in her case, her hair kind of has the regular zigzaggy highlights where it's kind of like this, and come from the top. And then what I would do is I would just avoid that section, kind of like this. And then I'd color the rest of the hair, and then I'd go back over that section with somewhat of a lighter brownish color. Yeah, but in this case, I'm using colored pencils because this is the technique or the strategy that I kind of developed this past week. And I really liked the way that it turned out. So you start off by doing that, just coloring all of the hair kind of the color that you want. And I have, if you're interested, I have the line art for this drawing that you can download for free from my DeviantArt page. So if you would like to color this drawing, I would very much like for you to download that. If I remember, I will put the exact link in the description. However, if I forget, the link to my DeviantArt page is already in the description. So you can go there and download it and color it. And I would love to see how you color it. And if you do color it, and if you would like me to share that on the next drawing journal or whenever you finish coloring it, then feel free to email it to me or message me on Facebook, whatever you want to do. You can contact me through any social media. So, but I would love to see how you color it. I actually had an artist. Goodness, I owe this person a shout out because they colored a similar drawing that I have line art for. I don't really have a character name for it, but they colored it and they did a time lapse for it. And I shared the time lapse on Facebook actually. So if you go to Facebook, you can find the time lapse, but I need to find it really quick because I owe them a shout out. I know it's here somewhere. Here it is. Novix. Yes, Novix is the artist on YouTube. It's fantastic. The coloring is far better than I did. Well, far better than you guys did because I colored it what you said to color it. But the color choice is just great. I love it. So I will also do my best to remember to put the link to the video in the description. So if you're curious as to how they colored it, you can either go check it out on Facebook or you can go to the description. Okay, so my camera stopped recording. I don't know what you missed. And so since I'm guessing my memory card's probably getting pretty full from having such a large video file. And I've been doing this for 30 minutes, so I'm just going to finish coloring the hair, and then I'll stop. I was saying before I noticed that the camera stopped, because it did not tell me, didn't make a sound. That seems really stupid to not make a sound. But yes, the video that I was talking about, the coloring, that will be in the description if you want to check it out. Otherwise, it's on Facebook. And I was saying that I usually don't make these videos, these drawing journals, so long. However, I'm kind of enjoying it, and I want to finish this hair. Otherwise, it's going to kind of drive me crazy. So I'm going to finish this, but let me know what you think about these longer videos. I don't know. I usually stop them when I feel like I have nothing else to talk about, even though I feel like I never talk about anything, and I just ramble on about whatever pops into my mind. Because I was also telling my sister that even though during the week I try to think of things to talk about during the drawing journal, like I kind of put a mental note, like, oh, I should mention that in the drawing journal, blah blah blah. That when I finally set up, and as soon as I hit that record button, all of that stuff just goes away. I no longer have it, unless somebody writes it in the comments, like a specific question or a specific topic. Because when somebody does that, I take a screen capture of it, I put it on my desktop, and then I have it there when I want to read it and talk about it, and I don't forget. Because when it's just something I think about, I just make a mental note, which is just destined to be forgotten, because that's how things work. But I am just about finished coloring in this hair. I'm just going to use this color, so don't get too excited. And there we go, just like that. So yes, it's a nice reddish brown, nice dark color, and that's pretty much it. That's it for this video. I'm going to reluctantly hang this picture up and try my best not to color it before next week. So remember that I need you to help me pick the colors. To be honest with you, I already have the colors planned for this piece, and I really want to color it that way. But if you think you have a good idea of how I should color this, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Peace.